Goblin Slayer Season 2 Trailer, plot, release date and news to know. With Goblin Slayer Season 2 finally on the way, here's everything you need to know to jump right in. One of the biggest, if not most controversial, anime of 2018 was the dark fantasy Goblin Slayer. Featuring graphic violence and a brutal world, the series took an unexpected approach to the fantasy epic that helped it stand out amid more novelty-focused isekai series. Though the short first season quickly gained notoriety, even with plenty of source material to draw from, it wasn't until January 2021 that a second season was finally announced, adapting more of the ongoing Goblin Slayer manga to the small screen. Here's the history of the franchise so far, as well as where the show's second season will likely take it. The plot of Goblin Slayer. The series started its life as a message board story, before becoming a light novel written by Kumo Kaju, with the illustrations done by Noboru Kanetsuki. There are a total of 14 light novels, which are currently being adapted into the ongoing manga. This manga has had two spin-offs in the form of Year One and Brand New Day, with the former also being turned into a light novel. Their popularity led to an anime adaptation by Studio White Fox, which resulted in a 12-episode season with one more one. The way. The fantasy setting of Goblin Slayer is populated by all manner of monsters and beasts, many of which are hunted for fame, fortune and glory. Goblins are not one such species, as they're only strong in large numbers. But they're still deadly. Characters in the show are overwhelmed, assaulted, tortured and killed by the goblins at various points. Such is how the first episode of the series begins, quickly setting the tone for the series. Himself is dedicated to totally eradicating the goblins, a mission that often involves him undertaking brutal acts of violence. The character was inspired by comic book characters like Batman and the Punisher, whose any means necessary approach informs his goblin-intolerant worldview. The Goblin Slayer saves and is joined by a young priestess whose party was brutalized by the goblins, and soon they're both drawn into a quest stemming from his less than peaceful reputation. The Goblin Slayer and his quest are actually more side stories, with other characters, all of whom are simply referred to by their roles, are given the spotlight. These other characters included Dwarf Shaman, High Elf Archer and Lizard Priest. The true story involves the constantly respawning Demon Lord, who revives himself every decade in a bid for world conquest. Goblin Slayer news to know: first season had an English dub produced by Funimation, and the show was simulcast on Crunchyroll, where it can still be streamed. The controversial success of the show saw it get a spin-off movie, Goblin Slayer: Goblin's Crown, which adapted the fifth light novel, and has the Goblin Slayer and his team voyaging into the mountains on the orders of the Snow Maiden. Concerned about the actions of the local goblins, the party sets out to find the mysterious noble fencer, who had gone missing after facing the goblins. The first season ended with the message that the Goblin Slayer would return, though this was likely referring to the movie. An official announcement for the second season finally came earlier this year, courtesy of the Georgia Fest 2021 livestream event. Unfortunately, an actual release date wasn't given, meaning that the show will likely hit TV and streaming services in late 2021 at the earliest.